Hello. Pardon me. This is a video that I'm going to be doing. I'm doing this public because I discovered well, I didn't discover. I was told that there are certain people that have been interfering with my oh gee. Oh my god. All right. Well, my cats are doing cat things right now, and one of them just came upstairs with the cat thing, and and I gotta go take care of it. So that's hold on. I cannot believe this. Okay. All right. Well, all right. This is like so. It's a really interesting situation right now. Oh, what my cats are doing. They literally have one job, technically like three jobs, but one main one. And yeah, Leela's trying to pull her weight and thought it was a good idea to come up here. I'll explain this later. Okay. The reason for this video is because I wanted to go into detail about what it is. Well, not into detail. I don't want to, but I definitely want to touch note on a video that I'm going to be going into detail about. Yeah. Let's see. Because I made a summary and everything. Pardon me, oh, look at that. Hello. Yeah. I don't expect anybody to be up, so it's just convenient time for me to just put this out here. Also, it's crazy because like I normally like to have my videos done. I normally like to have my videos like laid out, planned, um, just like categorized of like what kind of pinpoints, and I have it like written out, but I normally do like my editing and this, that, here, and the third. However, with what I'm about to say is it doesn't need all that. It really doesn't need all that. Like I'm going off. I'm sharing everything about like well I'm not sharing everything about my experience in this video. I'm gonna share everything in my in the next video. But I wanted to go with you guys together about what it is going on because it seems that every single time when I make a video it's being sabotaged by my abusers and the hackers and whatnot like that. Particularly the orchestrator, the main orchestrator, um, and the people who support her. So, mm, I mean, I have this. Um, So hello everybody. I have my ice. It's really hot. My there's a lot of things going on right now. It's just insanity. My air conditioner is not working right now because it's gotten like super hot. So it's just getting out, and this is not the first time that it's done that. I had to like take it apart, clean it out, and then put it back together again. And well, I had to not like completely take it apart, but I dismantled it, like just to clean it out really well. So when I say take it apart, it makes it seem like I took like everything out. Like I took out a series of things to expose the core, but just to clean it out really well. But um, it makes it seem like I took out like every freaking. Well, I did take out most screws. I think like yeah, majority of the screws. Pardon me. Whew, my goodness. Pardon me. I'm really tired right now. It's Saturday, June 3rd, 1:01 a.m. Pardon me. I love you guys. It seems so weird on how like I'm doing things in threes. This is like the third because the weekend kind of seems like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday kind of thing. I mean, I know Sunday, but for some people it's like a Thursday. For some people, it's just like the weekend night. Anyway, it just seems like a bunch of thirds. It's June 3rd, which is 6 can be divided by 3 because that's June and it's the third. And also it's the third weekend kind of Saturday. It's also the third day of the new moon, I think. So weird. Uh, pardon me, some freeze right now. Let's just see. New moon, new moon. All right, the next new moon is June 18th. The previous new moon is May 19th. Okay. I think it's the third day of the full moon. Next full moon is June 3rd. Okay, so tonight. Waiting for the oh. So yeah, I'm doing this video because for many years, the orchestrators of my abuse have been spreading lies and doing a smear campaign about me. And what's really unfortunate is that people who are supporting them, benefiting off of it, exploiting opportunists, and just people who enjoyed watching me without my permission, were trying to gaslight me and manipulate me, telling me, passively telling me things like, oh, like, passively trying to like say things about themselves, but it's actually supposed to be about me, like as in a judgment, like, Don't worry about telling your side of the story. Um, no need to no need to tell your side of the story. No. When it comes to justice and things of that nature, it is best for you to speak up and tell your side of the story about like what the fuck is going on. I cannot um I cannot just stand by without explaining exactly like what the hell is going on, especially from my experience. I've been speaking up for years now, but I believe that it's just right now the this is it's obviously has gone too far for years. But at this time, like this person has enough rope to hang themselves when it comes to the offenses, the illegal activities that they and other people are continuing to do. Now I'm not trying to bring people back in who have, who have stopped. Um, because there's a lot of things that happen that I have like, records of. There's a lot of things that I have records of that I just want to kind of make like broad statements about it, but there I only want to mention specifics of anybody who's continuing to be messy and continuing to be abusive. And whether people know this or not, um, it's a lot of people that's trying to have me be in a relationship with one of my abusers or have reconnect a relationship with one of my abusers. Anything that's self-serving and that's not for my best interest. Because a lot of people have made a lot of money off of exploiting me and harming me. So I want to put this out here. This is my layout because eventually I want to include some of this dialogue into my voiceover for the video where I do go into full detail about like what the hell has been going on from what I've experienced. From my experience, I do not know the full details of what they've done behind my back, but I know enough in order to kind of put things together, put sufficient stuff together, and bring it to you guys. Because I'm done with these games. I'm done with the whole passivity. Like just tonight, some lady was just like, "Oh, like what's your name again?" Like this, like you know my name though, but like I'm just like, I just told her like, "Oh, my name is Monique." So because she know my name, like these are game stalkers. And I'm like, just like cut the bullshit. And I'm just like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, and it's like, oh, Monique. And then instead of being quiet, instead of instead of being quiet, and instead of just being like, okay, like, I know you're a game stalker. I gave her, um, I gave her a name because this kind of stuff was a test. They are testing me when it comes to game stalkers. People who are watching you, stalking you, and trying to mess with you is a test. They are testing me to just see like how many games that they can still play. Already on online, people are being very passive, are being extremely passive, triangling messages, gaslighting, and doing like this little petty abusive bullshit. Like it's no longer like bullying. Like it's advanced that. It's advanced that. So she was testing me, and I immediately was just like, instead of saying my name, I immediately tested her right back, and I wanted to see exactly like what she was going to do with that information. And she was just like being fake as fuck, and I'm just like, okay, it's insane. It's insane. And then I went to another store, and this guy was asking me about my about asking me something personal, and I have responded, but I didn't like specify. I didn't go into detail about it. And he was just like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "Yeah." Like people want to probe and see how far that they can get into my energy or how far that they can keep this game going when it comes to, oh, I don't know what you're talking about, or it was like, I don't know what you're talking about, or they just want to know exactly how long they can keep this game going, where they can be passive, where they can abuse me, and where they can exploit me or be an opportunist or just pretend like, I don't know what's going on. The day when I fully become like, yo, like cut the bullshit, you're a gang stalker, this, that, here, and the third, is the day when, like the gloves are completely off. I have my own set of rules and I have my own plan because people in this country, they have rules, but they don't follow those rules. Those rules are for anybody that they want to just like run over. So I adhere to laws. Like I'm innocent and I adhere to laws. They knew this, which is why they were banking so hard on me, like, not reacting, not retaliating, not speaking up, this, that, here, and the third. Like they picked me. They picked me assuming that, I wasn't going to say or react or respond in the way I am. But it's just like, no, 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 no. That's your error. That's your error because I haven't broken the law like they have. I haven't done the criminal things that can't even. I can't even imagine to have ever done those things. But Um, I do know like what's right and and what's wrong from wrong. Like I'm not a goody two shoes. Okay, like I'm not saying that I'm a perfect person, but I am saying that there's certain things that have that's been done to me that's completely illegal, completely volatile, and a repeat of archaic times and stuff that's happened to like our relatives and like our ancestors. Things like slavery, oppression, experimentations, financial abuse, all those things that have happened to me. And you would think that, okay, oh, she's just exaggerating and this and here and the third, and I'm really not. I would like for some people, well, not some people, to step forward and be like, no, like she really went through this. The things about people putting nasty things in my food to make me sick or kill me, the murder attempts, the mass bullying in order to hope that I commit suicide or something like that. And I was just like, wow, like you guys really are, well, not you because whoever I'm talking to, I'm hoping that this is either the future people or the supporters, my supporters, where it's just like these people really took it upon themselves to um, be criminals. Be not just be criminals, but it's just like like I mean, honestly, it's just like it's like saying, "Oh, you're a sinner," and I'm like, we sin for everything, or for damn near everything. But it's just like you did the most, the worst, and on top of that, like you come off as these hypocrites, like you're holier than that, or that you can be saved by God or by some type of church member by just saying some fucking quote out of the Bible. Like that's ridiculous. That's totally ridiculous, and it's not true. Like you would still go to fucking hell. Like and for some people, supposedly like they that's where they enjoy going, and it's just like it's more than a whole biblical term about hell. Like I want you to have the hell on earth. Like I don't want you to be happy considering what you did to me. I want the full effect of karma. I don't need to see or sit there to witness it, but I want justice. I want justice. I demand justice. Now. Immediate justice. Not that Pockamos what's it Pothemonius Pothemonius or no Pothemonius uh justice where somebody has to be gone. Like that's really sad of this country because you guys cherry pick on who you want to honor and celebrate and give their flowers to when they're alive versus when they're dead. Like that really only that's the whole this is the whole wave of oh my god, did you let it back up here? What's going on? What happened? My cat's here. Mila? Mila, where's it? Mila? Oh my god. She's such a horrible thing. She's just like, I did my part. I did my part. She's too much. Oh my god. She's really too much. I can't with this child. Um, Okay, yeah. So this is why this country, and it seems like this country and people outside of this country have a big thing on forgiveness because it's a form of laziness, really. Like, you can't do the fucking work, so you want forgiveness um for something you haven't even done the work for. It's like going to, like, it's crazy. You guys love prison. You love sentencing people to years and years of fucking justice, and a lot of people injustice because you wrongfully accuse people and have them, serve your sins and your faults. Um, have them wrongfully accused. But when it's your turn for actually being caught and doing something, you want forgiveness. You don't want to do the work. You don't want to go to jail. You don't want to go to prison. You don't want to have any type of like repercussions for the offenses that you've done. Like, it's insanity. That's insanity. And the more insanity because it keeps repeating. When you've done really crazy, horrendous things, you want forgiveness because it's easy for you. You have that same kind of you have that same kind of belief where you want to honor people when they're dead instead of alive. You want to try to give justice to people when they're dead instead of alive. You could have easily brought justice to people instead of doing like the bystander effect um, when somebody's alive. And I acknowledge the people who've actually spoken up, and I really, really appreciate them because a lot of the things that I've done in accordance to separating and cutting off people was just based off of instinct and their own behaviors. I was just like, yo, like, I'll cut you off. It took maybe like a couple years, pardon me, to understand exactly what the hell was going on. Um, I I didn't even know to this full extent, and even then, like I said, I still don't know everything that has happened, but I know that it was incredibly gross and incredibly insulting and dehumanizing. To me, it was very inhumane. My civil and human rights have been taken away, and it was backed by government officials, and it just makes everything a big old joke. So, even though people are going to try to come up with like excuses and try to victim blame me, or victimize themselves, like, you would be doing it. You would be doing, our history an injustice because there are so many historical moments between multiple races that have been in similar situations where they were overthrown by the government or oppressed by the government, and for you to be a part of one of those races, to come out your mouth and try to victim blame me is very gross, very, very stupid on your part, and disrespectful to our history because for the bigger picture, you're just trying to be really selfish about your own needs. Like, you're ruining like centuries of centuries of injustice just so you can temporarily go on trips and buy things and like material possessions, or for clout, or for a position. A lot of people will burn the entire world down for one person, and a lot of times that one person is themselves, and it's really just fucking like, that's crazy. Like, but it's and the only reason why they're doing that is for material gain. Like, it's not for like the bigger picture. Now, I can understand if it was some situation where, like, imagine, the entire world, turned into a zombie, and there was only going to be like a few, good people. Then I can understand burning the world. And it's just the sense where a lot of bad, there's a lot of bad going on in this world. He didn't do it for just reasons. If I was to burn down a world, I'd do it because of like so many bad people in this world. But I'm not even thinking like that. I know that's one of the scare tactics that has been presented to a lot of people. I see myself as a person who would be released from this cruel and unusual punishment that's unjust. As someone as like during the abolishment of slavery, we are less than 14 days away from Juneteenth, so that is something that's very coincidental. Um, yeah. Okay. So I don't know the specifics of what's been said behind my back, but for years, decades, all my life, I've done nothing but just be an honorable person and to the best of my ability because I mean that's just my foundation and that's just my belief. I've had the choice of going through different denominations. I've studied multiple denominations, and I chose. It was me that chose to study what it is that I wanted to study and have the faith that I wanted to have the faith that I chose to have, even when I was young. So, excuse me. So, yes, my love for God, but I'm not one of those Nazi Christians that are just like those extremists that are just crazy about oh, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to be this, and da da da. It's very insane because those, man, those are the crazy opportunists. I tell you. Not just them, but other people too. Because I really don't want to throw all Christians. Like obviously, as a Christian, I'm not going to throw all Christians under the bus. I'm just those extremists. It's like they're doing more harm than good. It's like making a fucking crusade, a Christian crusade all over again. You're not the ways of the past. Yes, history repeats and it rhymes, but you can't keep doing the same thing and expecting like, oh, this is gonna be okay. Like, no, no, we're to change. Oh, God. Mm. Lila, if you did what I think you did, I'm gonna be so upset with you. I'm so serious. I'm gonna be so upset with you. Oh my God. You're like, don't tell me I don't put my weight. It's so crazy. She literally brought it. Oh my God. Like, she's like, wild, bro. So wild. Came to my face and then went back downstairs. My goodness. In the very authoritative, like, don't tell me I don't pull my weight. Oh my goodness. This child. Mm. Yeah. All right, so I don't know the specifics of what's been told about me. I really don't. But all these lies about first off me being adopted, the other one about these people were poor. Okay, you feel me? Like I had to let my dad borrow money from me. Well, not excuse me, I didn't have to let my dad asked me for money, and this is when I was in school, like elementary, yeah, like elementary, middle school. No, elementary school, because I had money from like my grandmother for like Christmas or something like that. And I had gave him some money. This is insane. And I also co-signed a car for him. I have the video up on my YouTube about me taking the car back because he wasn't making the payments for it. He didn't make the payments for Progressive, and he didn't make the payments for right. I mean, he didn't make the payments for the car place, and the car place wasn't like it was like a Honda lot or anything like that. It was one of those use your use your check, your weekly check, like any payment amount goes. Where if you just have like a paycheck, if you work a job, then boom, you get a car. You're gonna be paying these astronomical fees, but boom, you get a car. It was one of those places because he was that poor. He was that strapped for money. So Yeah, saying that I was adopted, I'm like, how would they be able to afford that? Like, you feel me? Like, why would my mom want to bump or like, want to try to like play, you know, be like, oh, this is just no, my mom was definitely my mom was an opportunist in her own right. And I was just like, yeah, nah. So that's insane to make that claim. The only reason why they have money at all is because they started it using um making money off of me. Okay. I have a hope. I made sure that I unfriended a lot of my relatives because I wanted to keep a lot of the content that they had made on my post. Excuse me, on my timeline, and I had already downloaded it too about what it is that they said about me because it's just like a lot of supportive information about like them depending on me. Hey, can I borrow some money? Hey, can I hey, can I come over? Hey, I missed you. Like, can I ask you out? Can I ask you like for some advice? Things of that nature. And I was, the big sister. I was the one that's, has always been the big sister, helping people out with homework and this, that, and the third, taking people out on like trips and things like that. Then, as those things were starting to happen in the background, somebody who I grew up with, who asked me to be their best friend, who called me sister first, and things like that. She was in a very low income economic class, and I was in what was back then a middle class. I say middle class because unfortunately, sorry, I have a bunch of like pet hair because I have the cats. So I'm yeah, and I also have allergies too. So it's like it's ridiculous. Insane. Um, so if you see me like picking anything off my face, it's literally cat hair. So I don't like I can't. It's so annoying. I'm getting a filter ASAP Rocky. I'm so serious. Like I have had it. I freaking had it. Yo. Oh no, that's part of the cup. It's ridiculous. Pardon me, I'm just pouring out some ice. I love ice so much. Okay. I am I've had years of abuse. So I am I've disconnected to a lot of things. I am numb. Not only that, but I've been raised by an even bigger bully. So it's just like anytime when I would have shed a tear is because of all the good that I've done. And as somebody who my thinking pattern is it has to make sense. Like I thoroughly believe in do no harm but take no shit. So everything that's been happening to me was illogical. I'm like, okay, well maybe there's a misunderstanding. What's going on here that's happening? Why is this happening? Why? And there's really still like no logic. Sorry, this, God damn it. Okay, so now it's like hair in my eye. Awesome sauce. Awesome sauce. Okay, so there's really like no logical sense for like what the hell has been going on. Oh my god. I, oh my god, I hate this. Sorry. I like look at her hair in my eyes. It's ridiculous. This is why I'm gonna do the voiceover like over again. But I just know that a lot of the things that I've said in previous videos were always like expected and were always stalked. So somebody was always stalking my former videos and then preparing like responses before it had like finally uploaded or in the background. In the background they would like form like little responses to say hi third. Uh, and this seems so stupid. Like why would anybody try to entrust, my safety with poor people? You feel me? Like, why would a wealthy family want to entrust me with poor people? That didn't make any fucking sense. So I was just like, okay, well, that's stupid. Um, And in addition to that, what I also have photos of what this house looked before I had acquired it, with my money and nobody else's money, nobody else's help, with my money. I was only 19, like no, I was like, how old was I? I was like 20, 21 at the time, and I was, looking to have I was actually going to use the money for a vehicle for a Honda, and I was just like, this opportunity fell into my lap because my uncle was trying to move into the house that I was living in, which was my grandmother's house. And I was just like, yo, why won't I just go ahead and move over here? Because my uncle decided to move out without telling me and leaving it up for foreclosure. That's another thing. How are you so well off and yet you have this house for foreclosure? I have paperwork for that. I also have video recording for that. Like there was a lot of lies and BS talked about me. So when the orchestrators that were people who I grew up with and relatives, and you just keep constantly being caught in a lie, it's just like, what is the point of even believing them any further about what it is that they're saying? Like, come on. Every single time when I've spoken up, um, anytime when I've spoken up or reacted or anything to that third, has been orchestrated by this one person who pretended to actually be my friend, and I've had nothing but just like good. I had no ill will to this person before I found out what they did to me. So it's really, man, it's so ugly and disgusting. There's no excuse or no reason for what they did. In fact, I'm pretty sure like whatever petty thing that they want to try to use as an excuse probably wasn't even real, considering about like how far they've gone by any means necessary to try to take me down. I don't I don't need to I don't need to be vulnerable right now because strangers have told me to save myself. There's so many people that have been involved with this that not enough people stood up to help me. There are people within the government agencies. Um, there are people within the medical industry. My own job that have used either superficial reasons or lies in order to want to harm me. Like if I'm late to work, if I have been on time to work for a very long time and I worked super hard, super hard. I literally maintained two jobs within one two jobs under one salary, and I was underpaid at a very prestigious university for months to the point where it literally really like fucked up my health considerably. And these people were so fucking ungrateful. Even it's not like I said, oh yeah, like like it's nothing. I kept consistently going to them and contacting them and even emailing them like, okay, so when are you going to actually like so I was working at one job for two people, two high up people, but I was a temporary person, and then I had got a full time position, and this full time position had like maybe like 5 6 people. So I'm working with 7 people. These two people are people who needed a personal assistant. So that means everything. And meanwhile, these other people just needed like a regular assistant. So like general stuff, but then they were still asking and demanding of not like it was actually more than that, asking and demanding things of me. So I'm over here working two positions, and it took some time, took months for them to find out. No, not to find out, for them to hire somebody else. And for that one position I have for these two people were hired for. Two people. So there's like for both of these people. So two people literally had to fulfill these tasks. And here I am doing this and this with other people for months. And it's crazy. And they were just like, yeah, that's completely insane. Um, and these are people who are justifying having put nasty things in my food, um, justifying stalking me, gang stalking me, criticizing my body weight, actually contributing to the stress and the abuse that I've had to go through. It is at this point that I don't. After I do this video, it is at not after do this video, but after I do my major video, because I've just been increasingly being very transparent because I'm tired of the passive, I don't know what you're talking about, mind manipulation in games. Is being more direct about what the fuck is going on. And I be asking people, and I had that recorded too. I'm like, yo, do you know anything about gang stalking? When these people obviously have been triangulating information to me and telling me exactly what's been going on to mind fuck me. And they'd be like, "Oh no, no, I don't know if that. What is gang stalking?" That, to my face, they'd be like, "Oh, I don't know what that is." Or I would mention like certain things that have happened to me, and they'd be like, "Oh, wow, it seems very unfortunate." Bet, bet. So now they're trying to hold on for a moment, because now they're trying to like find a way to fire me because I'm not accommodating them when they wanted basically somebody to just, abuse and pick on and shit like that. So hold on for one moment after that. Okay. All right, so yeah, I'm tired of all these damn fluffies. Oh my god. So yeah. Yeah, so that um less and less. I see people are testing me, and I am being I'm not being reactive as they would like me to be, but I am like responding accordingly. Like I see that they want to test me and I'm testing them right back. But it's just like I'm less, I guess like I'm less kind. And I don't need to be kind to my fucking abusers. Like get off of that. But I'm just like I'm less respectful because these mind games, pretending like you weren't a game stalker or anything like that, is emotional. Is emotional and it's just manipulative as fuck. That is a form of abuse. That is a form of abuse. And say back in the day when slaves, were freed, and back in the day in the 30s, when well, and back in the day when Jewish prisoners and whatnot like that were freed, they didn't they had to, and they still to this day have to deal with people that are denying exactly that, like what really happened with the Holocaust and with the slave and with slavery. But you don't get that often. You feel me? Like there's too many people that's over here trying to, play bullshit. And I'm just like, just don't say anything to me. Just don't say anything to me. Like you don't have to say hi. You don't have to try to like strike up a conversation or anything like that because I'm less I'm less likely to be disappointed in you, and you might just catch me on a day where I'm just like, fuck it. So I'm like, so why don't you? I would honestly just not say anything to you. I don't care how bright your smile is, how you want it to be. Trust me, that shit is just gonna look like a fucking evil grin to me. I don't care how you smile at me. I don't care how soft that you want to make your voice. All I see is sinister and evil. I really do. Nowadays, all I see is sinister and evil, and I want nothing to do with that shit. So it's just like, okay, so let's see how this goes. And when I see that, lately I've been just basically, yeah, just testing to see how far it goes, and it's just on some superficial shit because you guys are superficial and just like um barely thinking. Like it's so crazy. You had years of this, so like you guys don't think at all. You guys are just like lemmings. It's just like herd mentality. So when it comes to more like when it comes to being direct and stuff like that, like you're not expecting that because I know what I know now, and I don't want to give you any grace. You feel me? Like there's no like I'm not forgiving you for shit, and you're making it worse by trying to like play with my intelligence. Fuck out of here. So there were people talking about drugs and being promiscuous and stuff like that. I'm still celibate. I am. I'm still celibate. Like there's been damn near I'd say like 4 years almost celibate. So almost like it's been a long time. Okay, I would definitely say that it's been a really really fucking long time since I've had sex. So years. It's been years since I've had sexual intercourse. And I say this very, direct and blunt because people have been running my name through the mud saying I've been doing all kinds of things. And the only time when I've had like, any type of relations with people um, has been with boyfriends or people who I've like dated like more than once. They haven't been like one night stands. I've only had one of those and I was in college, my first year in college. And other than that, it was just, yeah, just relationships. Every time when I was like go out with somebody, they'd be like, yo, they would want to get a relationship with me. Sorry. It's cat fluff. So yeah, it's just so disgusting. All these lies and all these rumors. It's just like, I'm not sorry to burst your bubble. And even though I'm telling you exactly what it is that's going on, I've told people a lot of the other things that have been going on, namely that I've cut off people and that I don't want to have or reestablish any connection with them, and I shouldn't have to in order for this level of offense that is judicial, that even presidents, not just president, but presidents have fucking participated in. I don't need to I don't need to fuck with any of the lower tier people who have, helped orchestrate this fucking abuse. Like this is disgusting. And it's even worse when it's people saying that this is supposed to be like a fucking love match or destined. Like cut the fucking bullshit. That tells me because I've been so honest about this and so upfront about what it is that I feel and how I don't want to have any connections. I don't want to reconnect anything with relatives or ex friends. I still have people trying to gaslight me and tell me that I need to let go of connections that I've already let go of. So I'm not expecting people to be like as soon as I tell the tell everything about like what's been happening to me and about my past that they're gonna honor it or respect it. I'm going to expect the same thing that has happened to African American slaves and Jewish Holocaust survivors when people were denying them the reality of the situation and trying to gaslight them further. And it's crazy because the people who are literally abusing me are of Jewish descent, are black, and white. So you got Latino. I'm telling you, every fucking race really participated in this bullshit and chose me. And it's just like you don't have any solid reason to have done that to me. None whatsoever. People have made up things, took my identity, falsified evidence in order to try to implicate me into crimes that I wouldn't have participated in and ever, and in crimes that I can't even imagine of like what they were saying about me. It was just really, really, really nasty and really gross. For somebody to have grown up with me and said that they wish me well and all that kind of stuff. to just blatantly advertise that they are bio is crazy. I think the most wild thing is just that they also put on the front that they have my best interests um, in the midst of doing this, because they also look to some people, well, to a lot of people, they'll do this. They'll talk shit to they'll talk shit to my ops, well, to strangers and this, that, here, and the third. And then they also put on this persona that they're innocent and that they're godly. The best way to tell these people are lying is because as I'm proceeding to just move forward with my life, these people are hyper criticizing exactly every facet of my life, even in a passive way. They want to like criticize my life. And I'm just like, from the horse's mouth, which is me, I don't want anything to do with you. I don't care what it is that you fabricate online or fabricate behind my back. What is it that I'm saying? And how is it that I'm moving? You feel me? You probably would have something that's, either AI generated or something like that though. But if I'm coming up on here right now and telling you on YouTube and on social media that I don't want to have anything to do with you, then you should respect that. I don't care what you see from that party. Okay, if I know that if I had if I had the intellectual, oh God, you guys don't have the intellectual capacity to just comprehend this shit. I mean, you pretend to, but you really don't, and it looks really bad for you. Like it's not even plain dumb. It's just that a lot of people have been really stupid. It's been really stupid. Like I don't have to do anything for you guys to just fall on, as somebody had noted, fall on their own sword. You know how they say iron sharpens iron? By me speaking up when necessary and doing my own thing, you guys have just been destroying yourselves. Just iron sharpens iron, but it can also destroy it. If you thought yourself to be invincible, that means that you would be your own undoing, and you have, which is why I've acted accordingly, and I warned you this many fucking times. Oh my god! Okay. It's definitely gonna get worse. It's definitely gonna get worse. So yeah, like I said, I'm not doing this for this. I'm not doing this video for you guys to just be like, okay, so now we're gonna step in. No, I'm just basically making an observation about what the fuck has been going on. I'm going to acknowledge and highlight exactly what my foundation is, my overview of my life, because I've been, this should have never happened to me. This should have never happened to me at all. There's no excuse. People who have literally participated in 9/11 had I mean, no, they have been literally horrifyingly tortured, um, from the documentaries and the books and stuff like that, like horribly tortured. But that shit wasn't recorded. Here I am being recorded, humiliated for the world to see, for a large majority of the world to see. People putting nasty things in my food, poisonous stuff in my food, from arsenic to it's something with a C. But it's just like you guys know exactly what you've done. And this is literally just beginning, because if you think that it's not, that you don't have any part in this, or like it's not going to hurt you or hit you, it already has. A lot of this shit has already started to hit you guys, especially up in the background, but you guys haven't seen it yet. And I just want to get to the meat and potatoes about me, because you guys have told me to save myself. So I actually ran across this uh, this endearing little timeline and papers about like, oh, I'm going to warn everybody. Even my website was just like, just notes and leaving things behind. And all the while, a lot of people, if not everybody, just knew, and they were just banking on me just being naive for the rest of my life until death or whenever it was, like, they were just done with me, and wanting to end me. They're just like, yo, this is it's total and complete bullshit. So that's why I had this going on public. Normally I had this stuff on private, but I had this on public, and I'm just gonna like do variable information in regards to what's going on because people are still trying to harm me, and I just wanted to put this out here. So yeah, I'm not expecting everybody to fucking honor exactly what has been going on with me, even though that they are their own undoing, which is just tragic. Um, Not in a sympathy way, but just in a just embarrassing way, and in a you need to handle that kind of way. But yeah. So just dismissing things like, drugs and all that kind of stuff has just been slander and lies. The invention that I've created, I have a consistent since before I met Danielle, and before she had said that, before I even met her, I was over here inventing things for school and for projects and things of that nature. So it's really fucked up that somebody took my ideas, my job, instead of it was something that I collaborated with her with, or that I gave her something. It also doesn't make sense that somebody would say that I gave them property, knowing that I live in the hood. What kind of person would think that that shit was smart? And then for you to try to stunt on me, calling me poor, and yet if I supposedly gave you that property that which is inherently mine, why would you would still look stupid. Like that's still very stupid and foolish. It's man. Some people know it's just like they wanted to pretend to be ignorant because they were still benefiting off of watching me, and and by doing so, they themselves are and they themselves are supporting voyeurism and abuse for them and their future and for their loved ones and their future loved ones. So I'm gonna go because I wanted to just put this out there, and I also wanted just let people know that I've summarized a nice list, and I was going to go like comb through it before doing my voiceover about what the hell has been going on, and I really didn't want to have to like do all this because I foolishly expected the government to step in, but I knew that the government was involved when I found out that the government was involved, but I expected like some people that were good in there to step up, stop this stuff. It didn't happen. So here I am, very tired right now, but here I am going to act accordingly. And yeah, here we go. I will talk to you guys later.